Do you see any advantages of being an international student?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing again is like learning from a completely different culture, right? Like it both makes you value your own culture, where you're coming from and what you're bringing to the table. But it also, so it's like a double-edged thing where like you appreciate the things that you have in the moment more because you maybe didn't have them before, or you don't, like once I moved to the US, there were like little conveniences that I was like, oh, like the US is really convenient in XYZ, or like people are like this there. And the same thing is true for Poland, the same thing is true for India. So it's like when you're in that country, again, if you have a glass half full kind of perspective, you can really like appreciate those things. This is a really silly example, but I'll use it because I was just in the US, I was traveling, and I remember going to Starbucks and I was like, wow, the milk here tastes horrible because I'm so used to like really good quality milk in Europe, in Poland. And so like I was really like, like I went to Starbucks, I was like, I'm gonna get my coffee, I'm gonna sit like by the canal and I'm gonna have like a nice afternoon. And I was like, wow, this coffee tastes awful because the milk tastes awful. And so like when I got here, I immediately got a coffee at the airport and I was like, I've missed this so much. But then again, like when I was in the US, the weather was really warm, and Poland weather has been, like Warsaw weather specifically, has been all over the place. It was like snowing in April, which is crazy. So I really appreciated the sunshine. So it's just one of those things where it's like when you're there, you can like focus on either the negatives or the positives of the differences, because you are like naturally going to notice all the differences. So I think that's the biggest thing, where you get such a different perspective, like almost being like an outside observer, but like still being in the culture. And you can also be like very selective in what parts of the culture you want to engage in, and you don't have to be like, you don't necessarily have the biases, I think, of like always having lived in that area. So you don't necessarily need to like subscribe to something that you don't agree with, and you can like cherry pick a little bit, I think, which is, yeah, I think that's the biggest pro. That's why I consider it an adventure to like go to different places and get to live there, because yeah, the more people you meet, the more diverse a perspective you have, the more you also learn about yourself, I think, of like what you value and things like that.